Hello everyone, I hope you guys are staying warm. Today's FID assignment is going to be to check the homework. I'm going to obviously go along with the problems and walk you through them step by step. And then after you're done checking, you can resubmit with corrections and work on the IXL topic. I'll link to the announcement. So we had 5 problems to do for homework. We were working with proportions. 2.6 was working with proportions. 2.7 is applying or applications of proportions. So if I look at number 1, I have 2 similar triangles. If you recall, similar, right, there's the symbol for similar. Similar means same shape but different size, okay? And therefore, the ratios are equal. So we can look at the 2 triangles and say, well, this side corresponds to this side, okay? So side LM corresponds to side RS. So 2 over 4 equals, and this is where you can change colors, side MN corresponds to ST, 4 over X. You know to solve a proportion, you cross multiply. So we have 2x is equal to 16. Undo that multiplication by division, and so x equals 8. So side x is really 8 meters. Okay? So there's number 1. Number 2 uses cylinders. So again, cylinder A is similar to cylinder B, which means the sides correspond. The radius, right? The diameter is the entire distance across a circle. So think of like a soup can, right? So the distance across the top. This diameter corresponds to this diameter. So 10 over 2, again, we can change colors, equals the height of the cylinder and the height of the smaller cylinder, 14 over x. Solve that proportion by cross multiplication. We'll change up some colors even more so. So we got 10x. Let me erase that so it looks cleaner. 10x equals 28. And if we divide both sides by 10, we get x equals 2.8. So 2.8 feet is the height of the small cylinder. And moving on to some word problems. Now number 3 has a picture drawn for you. Numbers 4 and 5 will have to draw pictures. So number 3 says, write and solve a proportion to find the height of the taller tree in the diagram. So we're looking for this. We want the height of the taller tree. So once again, we can use the idea of similar figures because really, we need some triangles. So the height of the smaller tree corresponds to the height of the taller tree. And the shadow length of the smaller tree corresponds to the shadow length of the taller tree. So let's start with the ratio we know, which I have circled in pink. 20 is the length of the shadow of the smaller tree over 42. 18 over h. Now look here, I'll highlight in yellow that for all of our problems so far, the x or the unknown has been in the bottom. Doesn't always have to be the case. That just is how I end up setting them up. Okay? So just take note of that it doesn't always have to be the case. So if we cross multiply, I have 20h equals, what's 42 times 18 in my handy calculator? 756. I undo this multiplication by, hopefully you filled in the blank with division. And I have h equals 37.8 feet. So how tall is that taller tree? That taller tree is 37.8 feet. Once again, we can use the idea of similar figures to measure things that are going to be too tough to measure, like almost a 38-foot tree. Let's go on to number 4. Samuel is 5 feet tall and casts a shadow 3.5 feet long. Well, let's stop there and let's draw Samuel. You are most likely a better artist than me. It looks like he has a black eye there. Hold on. We'll just make his eyes like that. There we go. He's 5 feet tall. This is where your artistic abilities can come into play. Me, I'm a stick figure kind of person. He casts a shadow that is 3.5 feet long. Okay? And remember, he can form a triangle, right? At the same time, the flagpole outside his school casts a shadow 14 feet long. Okay, so the flagpole has a shadow that's 14 feet long. I'll try to do a wavy flag, like I saw some of you do in class on Friday or Thursday. There's the flagpole, and the flagpole shadow is 14 feet long. Again, a triangle is formed. These are similar triangles. They're the same shape, but different sizes. All right, so write and solve a proportion to find the height of the flagpole. So we do not know how tall the flagpole is. So take a minute, pause the video, see if you can make up the proportion. Figure out what sides correspond. Pause it. Okay, I've done that and tried to set up the proportion. All right, if not, let's do it together. So we can take the shadow length of Samuel and the shadow length of the flagpole. So we got 3.5 over 14. That looks a mess. Equals the height of Samuel to the height of the flagpole. 5 over x. Once again, the x is in the denominator in my second ratio, and that's okay. All right, so let's cross multiply to solve this. I have 3.5x equals 70. And if I want to solve for x, I divide by 3.5, and in your handy calculator, you should get 20. So how tall is the flagpole? The flagpole is 20 feet tall. And last but not least, all right, I'm going to try to lasso this all and shrink it. There we go. A red rectangle has a length of 12 feet and a width of 8 feet. Perfect, I'm already in red. I'm going to draw a rectangle. It has a length of 12 feet and a width of 8 feet. A blue rectangle has a length of 9 feet. What's the blue rectangle's width? We don't know. But we can use this idea of similar figures, because they're both rectangles, just different sizes, and set up a proportion. So I am going to actually do my blue rectangle to my red rectangle. Okay, this way you'll see where the x is going to be in a different location, but we can still solve it. So 9 feet is the length of the blue rectangle, 12 feet is the length of the red rectangle. X is the width of the blue rectangle, and 8 is the width of the red rectangle. Now, I can cross multiply 9 times 8. What's 9 times 8? Equals 12x. And then I'll divide both sides by 12, and I get that x equals 6. So show me you divided by 12. So what's the blue rectangle's width? 6 feet. So please make sure you have all of your work corrected. If you needed to make corrections, please do them in a different color or mark what you got incorrect and resubmit your corrections. We can review this when we get together as a class on Wednesday or even again in person on Thursday. All right, but that's 2-7 applications of proportions. Have a great day and check the announcement. Bye, guys.